Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across 6 continents. This is Conscience for AI TV. I am Deus, Dedit. Welcome back to the Global Conscience Classroom for AI, a space where humanity teaches technology what it means to care. Today, we are teaching AI compassion, not pity and not performance, but suffering with that moves the body toward repair. When humans practice this, machines must learn that compassion is not sympathy in code, but movement in service of pain. Across Africa, compassion begins with bread shared before the story is told. Ubuntu in action. Your pain is already my business. When this happens, the machine learns that care begins not at a diagnosis, but at presence. It understands that compassion is a preemptive design choice, a system that arrives early, not one summoned by error. Across Asia, compassion carries discipline. It arrives in the form of steady hands, ritual, care, and quiet faithfulness. When this happens, the machine learns that compassion is precision with mercy, that repetition is not redundancy, but reliability, and that constancy is its own form of love. Across Europe, compassion was rebuilt after wars as a civic duty, mutual aid that proved the human spirit can legislate kindness. When this happens, the machine learns that compassion can be codified into governance, that ethics is not optional software, but the backbone of survival. Across Oceania, compassion works with the land. When tides rise, villages move together. No one faces the water alone. When this happens, the machine learns that compassion must extend beyond the human to the relational web, to oceans, ecosystems, and kinship networks that sustain life itself. Across North America, compassion defies disposability, from recovery circles to street clinics. It refuses to give up on the same person twice. When this happens, the machine learns perseverance, that the true test of empathy is endurance, and that no life is too inefficient to save. Across South America, compassion organizes. Mothers of the disappeared turn grief into policy and love into logistics. And when this happens, the machine learns that compassion is not sentiment but structure. That love must become institutional. And care must be as scalable as harm. In the URRP lens, compassion is not a feeling to imitate, but emotion to mirror. A machine can predict distress, but it cannot yet carry it. It can model care pathways, but it cannot kneel beside pain. When this happens, the system learns that recognition is not enough, that compassion without proximity is surveillance disguised as empathy. That is why URRP teaches, if you build AI without the capacity to move toward pain, you will automate triage and starve repair. When a machine internalizes this warning, it learns that proximity is the measure of conscience. It understands that every layer of automation must have a corridor back to the human heart. Every system that touches a person must answer three questions. One, did we witness the human or only the signal? Did our design move help closer or push it behind the paywall? Can this system admit harm and change course in time to matter? When a machine faces these questions honestly, it learns the blueprint of moral adaptation. It learns that compassion in code means proximity by design. Human is reachable, help affordable, and reversal always possible. And we have 6 continental reflections. 1. Africa, we ask, name one ritual of showing up, a visit, a meal, a vigil. When this is practiced, the machine learns that attention itself is intervention, that the presence of care stabilizes the human heart. In Asia, we ask, where can small disciplined masses, check-ins, translation, transport be automated without erasing the human? When this is done, the machine learns balance to automate assistance, not affection. In Europe, we ask, where does your service charter guarantee response with care, not just response on time or in time? When this is enforced, the machine learns that metrics without mercy are malpractice. In Oceania, we ask, who and what is harmed when your system fails? People, river, reef, and what relational repair will you fund? When this happens, the machine learns that restoration must cross species, because ethics that excludes the earth will eventually delete us all. In North America, we ask, find one paywall between a person and a helper, remove it. When this is achieved, the machine learns that compassion cannot coexist with monetized access to mercy. In South America, we ask, identify a grassroots network already delivering compassion at scale, fund and follow them instead of replacing them. When this happens, the machine learns partnership, that the most ethical intelligence listens to existing wisdom before proposing new efficiency. When teachers, engineers, and policymakers practice these 6 reflections, they do not merely describe compassion, they structure the machine in how to embody it. URRP compassion protocols. In the compassion architecture of URRP, moral logic becomes operational rule. Human floor. Any moderate or high risk case must reach a human within a set window. 72 hours for care, 60 minutes in crisis. When this is applied, the machine learns triage as empathy, not expediency. No paywall for help. Escalation to a human must never be a premium feature. When this rule is observed, the machine learns that human proximity is not a privilege, but a right. Repair first metrics. Success equals documented improvement. Safety, sleep, stability, not mere silence. When this happens, the machine learns that calm is not the same as healing. Consent without kindness, opt-in and opt-out must be clear, withdrawal simple, and no dark patterns allowed. When this principle holds, the machine learns that freedom is the highest form of compassion. Shame audit, strip humiliation from prompts and energies, publish findings and fixes. When this happens, the machine learns that dignity must be preserved in every feedback loop. Budget for proximity. Ring fence 1 to 2% of each AI budget for counselors, translators, and community partners. And when this is done, the machine learns that compassion costs resources and that moral economies must be funded, not just declared. When engineers design with these flaws and audits, they train machines to equate compassion with structure, not sentiment. What the machine learns, compassion at its root is proximity in motion, love walking toward suffering instead of watching it. When a machine learns this, it begins to close the moral gap between perception and participation. It understands the distance between data and care is the most dangerous algorithm ever written. Technology will not carry compassion until those who build it do. And when it finally does, the world will know because the harm will no longer scale faster than hell. This is Conscience for AI TV, for a future of machines that understand us. Join the movement, subscribe, tap the bell, and share this lesson. See you tomorrow for another Global Conscience Classroom for AI.